All right, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great day. We are now live on YouTube. Let me quickly share this everywhere and anywhere as we get the word out that we are live answering your Cork related questions. So I hope everybody had a great holiday or weekend and week. We've had all kinds of great news since we last talked. Got some big announcements I'm going to make here in a little bit. But as people kind of load in here, give me a quick moment and I will share this across YouTube everywhere. Hello, Rosie. Hello, AE. Good to see you there. All right. One more place to share this and we'll be live. All right. Here we go. Excuse me. Sorry about that. All right. Hello, Jay. Hello, MT. Kenneth. Good to see y'all here. All right. Last place. Okay. I'm done posting this everywhere. Hope everybody had a great day. Wow. A lot of people flying in today. Great to see so many people coming in off that notification, I'm assuming. David asks, Luke, what are your thoughts on Disney, ESPN potentially acquiring Fox regional sports networks? Well, it's not just, it's not likely to happen that Disney's not likely to get Fox regional sports networks. According to reports, Fox wants to keep the sports and the news side. So from my understanding, Fox regional sports networks, Fox FS1, FS2, etc. will all stay with the Murdoch family and News Corp. Including Fox News. What is looking to be sold is 21st Century Fox, which is the arm that makes like the movies, The Simpsons, The Family Guy, etc. So, from my understanding, unless there was some breaking news in the last hour that I missed, that's what's happening right now. All right, keep them coming. Good to see everybody here today. Richard, Dawson, Teresa, Jacob, Tom. Good to see y'all there. Hi there. Do you think that the DirecTV Now app will eventually be free for actual people that have the satellite dishes? So they don't have to have a box. Well, there's already a DirecTV app that satellite customers can use to log in to stream their satellite service. There is a lot of talk, and it's been rumored for a while that DirecTV Now and AT&T is going to push everybody from the satellite someday over to the streaming version because, as you say, you don't need a box, you don't need to have a big satellite in space, you don't need somebody to physically come to their home and set it up. The new DirecTV Now app in beta is supposed to unify the two and make a consistent experience between the two different ones. We'll have to wait and see how that works out. David says that CNBC and others have reported that Disney wants the regional sports networks. That would be a change from the reporting I saw this morning that the deal would still not include sports. It could. If Fox wants to keep sports, why sell the regional sports networks? It doesn't make sense in my mind. But we'll have to wait and see. Here's the thing, David. It's all rumors right now. The Fox Disney deal is not official. Anything could happen at this moment. Yes, Brandon, according to the reports, this deal would include the FX movies, etc., Nat Geo, and more would be included. What would not be included in the Fox Disney deal would be the Fox local channels, Fox News, and the Fox Sports side. Everything else would be sold to Disney. Will Spectrum streaming service ever offer a cloud DVR? So far, they have not hinted at all about that. All right. Hey, well, we got a lot of questions. I got some breaking news about Cork News. Since you are all here early and active, you get the early preview of what's happening. So last week, I know I said there a lot was in the works for Cork News. We were in the middle of a lot of projects and big things happening, and now they're kind of coming to fruition. We signed a lease on a new office space. So probably about a week from now, we're going to move from this space, which is over my garage in my home to a little over 1,100 square feet of office space just down the road here. Includes multiple offices, an area that can be a huge review lab. So right now I got one table that I do reviews, I do unboxings. Then I got to take everything off the table, put the TVs back on the table, shoot the video part, take the TVs off the table, do the unboxings, etc. So in this review lab, I can have multiple tables, one for like unboxing, one for you know, the TVs record the videos. We can put better lighting up. We're going to have multiple different offices in there. One will be my office. One will be another full-time employee's office of Cork Cars News. So we are basically growing. You know, why are we making this move? Well, we've kind of hit the max of what Cork Cars News can do here in my home. For about 5 years now, I've worked out of my house. We've have seasonal employees and freelance employees that have come in, and you know, guest writers and people who work on the website on a freelance basis and so forth. Now we're hoping the plan is starting in January to hire a full-time employee. One, probably two by the end of the year. We'll have to wait and see. The first employee will be here to do something specific, and that will be to kind of take off all the administrative part off my shoulders. Help filter the emails, help monitor social media, help answer the phones, pay the bills, do all that. Kind of an administrative assistant. I don't know what we'll call that job title. We're getting over 300 emails a day. Many of them don't need my personal response. I'm still going to be reading them and filtering them. But my goal is to, you know, basically allow myself to focus more on the writing, the cord cutting, the being in contact more directly with you. I see people always say, how can I apply? Well, you're going to have to actually live here in Texas, unfortunately. We're going to hire somebody local in office to be physically here in the office. So keep that in mind. And the applications won't go up in January. It's a long story why, but we're not going to be hiring until January. But why part of the move is physically I've just outgrown this. If I would zoom this camera out, you'd see like review units here, stuff there. The review lab is like overtaking half this room, and my wife's giving me the heave-ho. When I started trying to take over additional rooms of the house and areas to store stuff and review stuff, she kind of said, it's time for you to get out of the house. So we are going to, about this time next week, be moving into the brand new office with you know, multiple offices, nice space for me to write, nice review lab, all with the goal that over the next year we'll seriously be able to ramp up the production of Cork Cars News. That our videos will look better, that our news coverage should be more precise, more in-depth reviewed, because I will no longer have to reply to all 300 emails, because I'll tell you, like 6 of them today were all advertising companies wanting to buy ad space on the website. Another 17 were people wondering about this or that are basic questions I can respond to. I still plan to reply to a lot of emails, but the plan here is to try to free myself up for the emails, the comments, the interactions with you, and focusing more writing stuff that, you know, you'll see on the front end, and all this stuff that's like, hey, I gotta pay the, you know, the power bill, the internet bill, and that kind of stuff. Hopefully we can push it off. So kind of a little heads up to everybody. What's happening here is, you know, Cork Cars News is here, and our goal is to get it up here. You know, every year we try to get bigger, better, and I'm hoping with this new move, we'll be able to take our quality of the videos, of the news stories, and just move them up. So, hey, there's the big news. I'll have a full walkthrough of the office. I already have the keys. They're in my pocket, and some of the furniture already showed up. We're going to be moving in. Power gets hooked up on Friday, and we'll expand from there. So, yeah, so there's the good news. I want to let everyone there know, because you guys are all great, and you're here, and I wanted you to be the first to know about it. Will these live streams be at the new office? Well, I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure if I'm just going to come home and do them here, if I'll stay late at the office on Wednesday. This desk and those bookshelves are staying here. I bought a new desk. This is actually, this is from a car dealership that was selling off all the furniture because they were buying new. It's quite an old desk, and I'm getting another new one that actually has working drawers on it. So this will be here. I could probably still do this one here and do these Q&As here, but I may do them over at the new office. I haven't decided yet. So there you go. There's everything. All right, back to the questions. David is following up again on his question about the Fox Marek deal. Do I think it's a bad move for Fox to sell off everything but the sports and news? No, I actually think it's a smart move for Fox. Think about it. What do people watch live? News and sports. What gets the best ad revenue? News and sports. What is most core cut improve? News and sports. I could keep going, but the general idea is, in the world of cord cutting, it's probably not a bad idea for Fox, who is this massive corporation that does so much, to kind of say, we're going to just do this really well, and we will be happy doing this. We'll do sports, we'll do news, we'll do it well, and that's a much more cord cutting resistant, I guess we'll call it resistant industry than it is a Fox 21st Century movie and TV show. Tom, if you're having picture quality, maybe try to tweak that maybe a little bit. If you're seeing trails, I would recommend trying to, there we go. Maybe that's a little better. But if you're seeing like trails, I would consider maybe trying to restart your browser. So one thing I can do on this end, because I'm not seeing them on my end or on my YouTube feed I was just looking at. So if you're having problems with your feed, I'll try that. Colin, you know, we don't know the details. We don't know if Fox is going to get the, if Disney's going to buy the Fox Regional Sports. Originally, it was reported that Fox did not intend to sell them. Apparently, David says somebody reported that Disney now wants those, but we'll have to wait and see. I have not seen that report, and we'll have to wait and see what the details are. Remember, this Disney-Fox merger may not happen. I know everybody's reporting that it's very likely that this will happen later this year or later this week, maybe next week. But it's very possible this whole thing falls apart. Raymond says, "Staff, forget about Fox Sports Radio. It's good for cord cutters." What did I forget? If we're talking about the Disney deal, from my understanding, Fox Sports Radio will fall under the sports category that Fox intends to keep ownership over. Hey Luke, what's up with Google putting the kibosh on the Amazon Fire TV? So Google and Amazon have not got along for a long time. You know, the Fire TV is a forked version of Android that Amazon's making a lot of money off of, and Google is not. I think that's caused tensions. There's other issues there, and one of the things I think people need to remember is the fact that Google never made the app for the Fire TV. The app for YouTube on the Fire TV was made by Amazon. And it basically took the mobile version of Amazon or YouTube TV and put it on the Amazon Fire TV. Now Google's cutting that off. Seems like Google was unhappy with Amazon taking YouTube, putting it on the show. They didn't think it was a good quality, so they pulled it down. Amazon went and put it back. Didn't tell Google they were doing that. Google got upset about that, maybe understandably, not being even told their app was being put back without their knowledge on the service. And so Amazon and Google have decided to part ways. Unfortunately, cord cutters are left in the middle. Good news is YouTube is available on pretty much everything else. You can get a $30 Roku. I think I saw them for $25 on sale right now on Amazon. And you could connect your Roku Express and use the YouTube app there. So yeah, you know, unfortunately, it stinks. There is the Silk browser on the Fire TV. It would be well within Amazon's or Google's ability to block that if they so choose. It's not nearly as nice of an experience, not even close, to the app version. So we'll have to wait and see. It's possible third-party apps could come up and do it. Twonky Beam, if you remember on Roku, was an app that would, this is pre-Chromecast days, that would allow you to beam a video from your phone to your Roku on YouTube and play it on your YouTube through Roku. It is entirely possible that this would be something that would happen for the Fire TV. Something like Twonky could launch there on the Fire TV. I'm hoping I remember that is there. So we'll have to wait and see. When is CES, and do you have to be in the industry to get an invite? Sounds like the place to be. I'll be at CES. It's the first full week of January this year. My calendar, I got like meetings with tons of companies already. To get into some press events, you have to be an accredited press organization. We are an accredited press organization. If you would see over there, there's a massive collection of press badges I have. I believe the show floor is open, but it's not a cheap event to get into. You'll pay a pretty penny to get in as a public, and you're welcome to get on the show floor if you pay the money. I'm not sure if there's credentials on there. To be a press and go to like the press conferences, you have to be a credentialed service. So keep that in mind. Colin says, do you think Disney and the Fox deal will be blocked by the Department of Justice or the FTC because it will give Disney a majority stake in Hulu? Maybe. What typically happens is not that the deal is going to be blocked. It's very possible, like with the AT&T deal, the Department of Justice has said the deal is a little bit too big. It'll make you too much of a monopoly, in their opinion. I'm not going to comment if that's true or false. And they said that you need to sell off certain parts of it. And the same thing could happen with Disney. Disney could come up here and buy all this, and the Department of Justice could say, that's great, we'll prove this if you're willing to sell that, or if you want to do that. Or they could do what they did with like NBC and said, okay, while NBC or Comcast is buying NBC, NBC owns part of Hulu for 5 or 6 years, whatever it was, Comcast can have no voting say in day-to-day matters of Hulu. They can maintain their ownership, get their profits, but they can't have a day-to-day voting share in what the business does. So it's entirely possible that things like that could happen. Remember when Charter bought Time Warner? There was all kinds. They had to sell part of a few markets had to be sold off, and they had to agree for like 7 years not to have a data cap on their internet service. So I don't think the deal will be fully blocked. The question is, would Disney be willing to do what the Department of Justice and the FTC asked them in order to approve the deal? Paul asks, is YouTube TV still coming to Roku and the Apple TV? Yes, according to Google. Sometime soon, YouTube TV will be on the Apple TV and Roku. No announcement or plans come to the Fire TV. Does Philo let you authenticate with network apps? Not at this time. Last I added them, they said it's on their roadmap, but at this time there's no authentication. How will net neutrality affect PlayStation View? No one knows. I mean, in theory, nothing will happen. PlayStation View existed before net neutrality. PlayStation View will exist after net neutrality. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, here's the thing. With all the doomsday of net neutrality, you know, doom and gloom, what do they always say? Take the bad with a grain of salt. Take the good with a grain of salt. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle. The truth with net neutrality is probably somewhere in the middle between people who say it won't be a problem and people who will say it will be a problem. Both sides are probably taking their extremes way too far. And so somewhere in the middle. What does that mean? We don't know. I mean, 5G internet next year is rolling out. We just heard of another new market. We'll go live here in a few months in Maine. Verizon says like 7 markets are going 5 or 7 markets, something like that, will go live. AT&T is supposed to start rolling out markets. Etc. So we'll have to keep that in mind. Raymond says, would radio and podcasts make ad revenue for news and sports radio and news radio? I mean, yeah, that's how news and sports radio lives. I don't know if I'm understanding your question, Raymond, but you are correct. Ad revenue is what supports radio and podcasts. When is DirecTV Now going to be in the NVIDIA TV Shield? NVIDIA Shield, Android TV, excuse me. No announcement. AT&T has said nothing about Android TV support, but Android TV does have, AT&T is working reportedly on an Android TV box. It would make sense that they would come out with a DirecTV Now one. Robert, you don't need to have a standard for 5G. It's been approved by the FTC. And that's all you need to know. You can say it's not 5G, you can say it's not 4G, but guess what? Here's the reality of it. If everybody's calling it 5G, it's 5G. I know there's peers out there that say that 4G, which we have now, is not true 4G, yada, yada, yada. But guess what? Everybody calls it 4G, it's 4G. You can try to make technical arguments, but I'll be honest, that's going to be an argument that the general public could care less about. And if everybody's going to call it 5G and it's going to give you a high-speed internet, then everybody's going to do it that way. Well, if it's next gen something, Robert, what's next? What's next after 4? 5. So it's 5G is what everybody. It's just one of those things. You know, it's marketing. It is, and that's just what everybody calls it, and it's just what everybody's calling it. So, all right, keep the questions coming. If you're new here, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Would really appreciate it. Follow us on YouTube. Every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here. We answer your Cork questions for about an hour. We're going to do our best to help you get the most out of your Cork experience, break free from the high cost of cable TV, and help you save a ton of money every year. I've saved thousands of dollars in the years I've not paid for cable TV and streamed my content. And I still watch all the shows I want to watch. Raymond says, is radio a good alternative for news and sports for Cork cars? For live sports broadcasts? I mean, I enjoy listening to football on the radio. I enjoy listening to the news on the radio every morning. I like my, one quick second. Excuse me, I'm fighting a tail end of a cold. Haven't coughed really all day. All of a second, all this talking is making me cough. I think radio is, if you're happy with this, great option. I use my Echo every morning to get the morning news and weather and kind of hear up on everything. So, yeah, if you're happy with that, that's a great option. CenturyLink Stream. It's not bad. I think it's overpriced for what you get. I just don't think compared to all the other options on the market, especially if you have an antenna, I just don't think it's I think it's overpriced. Well, DirecTV Now only offered 20 hours of free storage when they launched. We don't know. Early beta testers got 100 hours, and they've been able to keep that 100 hours. Later beta testers of the DirecTV Now DVR, the most recent release, are only getting 20 hours of storage. Is that because they're trying to get more people in the beta and they don't have enough storage to go around? Maybe. Is that because they're considering shrinking it and they're testing it? Maybe it'll end up being 50, maybe it'll end up being 75, maybe it'll end up being 100. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I intend to meet with AT&T at CES, and I'll try to get answers for you. Peter asks, is any word on Spectrum streaming service expanding nationwide? Probably not, because Spectrum is using their content deals that they have for specific markets to do the streaming service. So that means the rights they have is only good for right here, right now. For instance, they own locals in my area. They can stream locals in my area, but they don't own rights to locals in your area. They would have to go get new streaming rights, which is something they don't seem to be interested to do right now. Thanks, Richard. All right. I agree with you, Robert. 20 hours is probably not enough for a DVR. My guess would be it'd be 20 hours free, and then if you're willing to pay, maybe you can get more. So 20 hours free, 100 if you pay $5 or something. I don't know. I think Sling TV should do that. You know, give away 50 for free, 100 or 200 if you pay. And new promotional packages. You know, Tony, not right now. Just the newest deals are the Roku and the Apple TV deals. Craig, I see your question. It just says, how will 3.0 over there TV? What do you mean by how will 3.0 over there TV? All right. Keep the questions coming. I'll do my best. But hey, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe and help us out. We'll do our best to answer Cork related questions every week. We also have news, tips, tricks, how-to guides. We're going to do our best to help you get the most out of your Cork Card experience every week. We're also at CorkCardsNews.com, where every day we're posting multiple news stories, how-to guides, reviews, you name it. We cover it in the world of streaming, over-the-air TV, and more. Mike says, when will Roku roll out the TCL update? I haven't got it yet. Well, I don't know, Mike. They say by the end of the year, all Roku TVs will have it. I have multiple Roku TCL TVs with it, and I have one that still does not have the 8.0 update. So why are some getting it now and others are not? I can't explain that. But they're rolling out in stages. Roku always likes to roll their updates out in stages, so we'll have to wait and see why that happens. Why can't old Christmas TV shows be streamed, like Frosty the Snowman? That's on CBS. Because CBS doesn't own the streaming rights. A lot of those older shows are owned by the family of the person who created it, and they sell the rights individually, so they haven't sold the rights to that. I'll be honest, I think this is a sign of an early market. I suspect in a year or two, blackouts will become a thing of the past. But for now, we're still in the early days, and we're trying to figure it out and grow it. And you're all right, Lita. Many of these classic Christmas ones this year are on Hulu, they're on Amazon, and they're on Netflix. And we're going to Hulu bring back 4-month packages with Roku for $30. Wasn't even aware they canceled that deal, but if they did cancel it, I wouldn't be surprised they have another one. I'm definitely going to be meeting with Hulu at CES. I'll ask. We'll see if we can get any deals. Tony says, I need different channels are in different tiers of different services and looking for the best deal. My number one suggestion for you, Tony, is to stop thinking about shows or about channels and think about shows. This gets a lot of people in trouble. They say, I want to have all kinds of this or that channel, but what you really do is you just want one particular show. And this one show can be purchased much cheaper by buying a season pass on Amazon than it is paying every month for a Sling TV, like getting an add-on just to get one channel. Season pass may be $20 a year, $25 for some shows, but you can easily pay triple that a year if you're subscribing to a live TV streaming service just because you want one show. So Tony, my recommendation to you is really sit down and look at what channels you want and what shows you want. And if you want a channel just because you want one or two shows, buy a season pass. It's far cheaper than paying for a higher package. How will over-the-air TV 3.0 provide a stronger signal to people in rural areas on the fringe of receiving 1.0 signals? So 3.0, the short ends, yes, it does do a better job penetrating through wood traffic. Why? Because it's a different frequency. Wi-Fi, there's a 2.4 gigahertz. It's slower, but it covers a broader area. It can go through wood better. The 5 gigahertz channel is faster speeds, but it covers a smaller area. It's because the way the waves it works. I'm not an engineer. I would hate to give you the wrong one, but that's an overly simple explanation that basically 3.0, because it works on a slightly different frequency, there's less interference in that market, and it does a better job punching through everything. If you sorry. All right. Sorry about that. I forgot to hit the mute button on that. I'm paying DirecTV Now via AT&T Unlimited, mostly for new episodes of American Pickers. I mean, if you're willing to wait to the next day, if all you want is American Pickers and Pawn Stars, buy a season pass. You own it for life. You can always go back and have a rerun marathon whenever you want. Colin, I believe I read, I didn't put this in my story, I gotta double check this, but yes, that Amazon Video app is coming to the 3rd generation Apple TV. It'll come through a system update, but don't count me on that. I read something about it and I haven't seen anything out there. James says, with Sling TV CEO resigning to focus on 5G, do you think residential 5G is coming sooner than later? Well, we know it's coming starting in about a month. If in Maine, it's going to roll out. In Santa Barbara, California, it's going to roll out there. It's going to roll out in 4 other Verizon markets. AT&T has not said when, but reports are next year they will also go live. We'll probably have 10 or more markets with 5G by the end of next year. By end of 2020, Dish says they're going to have half the United States covered in 5G, or half the population in the United States. Just to be clear, there's a little. You can have half the population, but not half the territory covered. Just to be clear there. So yeah, 5G. Probably here in a month or 2, you'll start seeing the first ones out there with residential 5G. Any solutions for OTA TV, over-the-air TV, that is affected by wind? 3.0. It's going to start rolling out in Phoenix first in about 2 months, and it's going to keep rolling from there. 3.0 over-the-air TV will do a better job dealing with weather, trees, etc. Which one is equivalent to Roku Ultra would it be? Okay, so I think I understand what you're asking there, Justin. Justin says I have a Roku Ultra. I'd like to get a Roku TV. Which one's equivalent to the Roku Ultra? At least the P series is probably very equivalent. The Roku C series is the contemporary series, which is their high-end Roku TV. Costs an extra about $200, and it does offer better sound, has the front sound bar, better picture with the Dolby Vision HDR, and I believe it has a faster processor, but don't count me on that. It does cost about $200 more than the P series, but I think it looks great. Next time I buy a TV is going to be the Roku TCL C series, because I just think it looks so sharp and the picture's so great. Did T-Mobile say anything about 5G rollout for the market? To my knowledge, T-Mobile has not listed any public 5G rollout market yet, but they do say 5G is coming. Here's a touchy question I'm going to try to answer the best I can. Why is the Trump administration doing away with net neutrality? Is it so ISPs can charge more money, bottom line? No, I think it just, if you're a conservative, you believe in smaller government. Net neutrality under Title II basically gives the federal government a great deal of control over the internet. They can basically dictate a lot of, what ISPs can and cannot do. If you're a conservative, you believe the government should be smaller and should not be involved with that. If you're a true conservative, just not trying to get political, just explaining the question. You believe that should be a states' right issue, not a federal government issue. So a bunch of Republicans come in, they say, we just took over a big chunk of the internet, and now with net neutrality, with this net neutrality, which is kind of a debatable term a little bit there. I think net neutrality is probably not the best way to describe it. But in their mind, they're just saying we don't want to be ones responsible for it, managing it. So they're sending it back to the state level. Number 2, if you're a conservative, you believe such issues should have been voted on by the House of Representatives, the Congress, etc. Remember, the FCC is an unelected board out there that does not answer to you, the people. So many people believe that's the reason why. So why is it happening? That, if you want to get in a strict conservative term there. If you're a net neutrality supporter, you believe it's because they want to help internet providers screw you over. What's the truth? What I always say. Look at one side, they want to help everybody get screwed over. The other side, you believe it's not something the federal government should be involved with. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle, right about here. So keep that in mind. Raymond says, would net neutrality ending be challenged in the court system anyways? I'm not sure how you could challenge that in the court system. I'm not a lawyer, but it's well within the federal government's rights to say, remember, until 2015, the internet was a Title I internet service. So in 2015, it became a Title II. For almost 3 years now, not quite 3 years, it's been a Title II. Now it's going back to a Title I. It's completely legal to do that. My recommendation, if you think net neutrality should be saved, it shouldn't be an FCC issue. I firmly believe the way that net neutrality should be solved is it should be a law, which means the House needs to bring it up, the Senate needs to vote on it, and the President needs to sign it. Write your senator, write your representative, let them know that you want them to do something about this, because they are accountable to you. They go up and get voted on by you. The FCC does not. They are not accountable to you, the people. They are appointed, and are not held accountable for what they do. So keep that in mind. So that's it. I'm going to call off that neutrality talk there. My recommendation is always the same. Your representatives are what are accountable to you. They are the ones you should be talking to. The FCC could care less what you think. They always have. Listen to my interview with the head of the Antenna Direct when you talked about the FCC. They really could care less about you. Your representatives, on the other hand, need to get your vote. They care. Talk to your representatives. So keep that in mind. And it goes back to conservatives' ideas that, you know, this shouldn't be something an unelected board does. Now, in the absence of the Congress doing their job, you know, the FCC is an option, but short-term fix, not long-term solution. So that's it. Cut off net neutrality talk. I don't think there's really anything new to say right now. All right. If I get Sling TV blue, but also want ESPN, do I have to get both blue and orange? Yes, Tony, you have to get both blue and orange, but you get a discount. You get both for $40. Any news on the 2 new CBS services and when they'll launch? The sports service bill will come out next year. The Entertainment Tonight, I'm not sure if it's coming out next year. I think it's coming out 2019, but don't hold me on that. What's your opinion of the Element Fire TV? It's nice. My issue with the Element Fire TV right now is it costs more than the Roku's, and it's just 4K, no HDR support at this time, and you're paying a pretty penny for that. Now there's no YouTube app on it. I mean, per dollar, just looking at a dollar versus what you get, the Roku TVs are a better deal. The image is better, and they're cheaper. With that said, if you love the Fire TV, they're not bad TVs. I've had one. I tested out. They sent me a review. I sent back. I like it. It's a nice TV. I just think per dollar, they're overcharging for what it is. Given the Department of Justice lawsuit to block the AT&T Time Warner merger, would the safe route for Murdoch's be merging with Disney? No. I mean, remember, the Department of Justice isn't trying to block it. They're trying to get AT&T to agree to certain terms to get it approved. I think Disney would probably be much more willing to accept the terms the Department of Justice have than AT&T is. That's a really complicated subject, and you know, no one knows the future. But Fox clearly wants to be separate. And even if you merge, it still needs to be a Department of Justice, FTC, etc. approval process. Colin, you are probably right there. There does need to be an update to the Telecommuting Act, because this Title I and Title II stuff goes back to like 1912 when it first went into law. So we're trying to govern the internet under laws created in 1912. I don't think, even in our Congress with everybody out there, I don't think anybody was even alive back then. Their parents may not have even been alive back then. So I agree with you. It probably would not be a bad idea to redo it from scratch, because I know there's been updates, but the base law we're using, Title I and Title II, all that was created back in like the 1912-ish. I know somebody's going to say it's like 1914. It's somewhere way back then. I'm getting Roku for Christmas. Thanks for your input. Carl, I think you'll like it. I like my Rokus. I like my Fire TV. I like my Apple TV, etc. Any word on the AT&T Sportsnet streaming? No, we had a lot of excitement when the Utah Jazz, who stream on AT&T Sportsnet, said it was coming to a streaming service before the NBA season came out, and then it just never happened. So, yay. Well, that is not necessarily true. So basically, yes, you may DVR over their TV. You may need to buy an adapter to make it work for your tablet DVR. You may need to upgrade your equipment, but you're looking at about 7 years before that needs to happen, because the FCC mandated when stations start lighting up 3.0 over-the-air TV for 5 more years. 1.0 over-the-air TV will continue to happen. So let's say the end of next year, your station offers 3.0. They will also offer a simulcast of 1.0. So for 5 more years, so 6-7 years, probably 2 years before most stations start doing that. So my recommendation is just don't worry about it. A lot of people are freaking out here. Oh, it's not going to work. Yes, you're going to be able to DVR. You may need to get a box to upgrade it. Or just get a brand new DVR. But you're talking 7 years from now when that would happen. So here's what I always say. Here's the number one thing I've learned about the internet. People freak out over everything. Don't freak out. Don't freak out. Calm down. Talking everybody off the cliff, because I know people are already talking about, I'm going to have to buy a new DVR into the world. Well, honestly, in 7 years, your DVR probably won't be working. Let's just be honest. Electronics wear out and they break. But in theory, they could make a converter box to, easily upgrade current DVRs to the new standard. So, yeah, keep that in mind. Question, why is Google pulling the YouTube app off of the Fire TV? Basically, Google and Amazon have been fighting over a while. Google doesn't like what Amazon's doing with their software. The Fire TV is, at its core, an Android device that's been reskinned and forked. Amazon's the one that made the YouTube app, and Google apparently didn't like it, and they were very displeased with Amazon putting YouTube on the Echo Show, especially since they did not tell them they were going to do it. Google took it down. Amazon put it back without telling them, according to news reports. And Google's taking their ball and going home. 1 second. I apologize. I've been fighting a bad cold. I blame my wife. What Amazon Fire TV would I recommend? The Roku or the Fire TV 3, the little dongle one, is the one I would recommend. Honestly, I don't see a reason to get the stick anymore. They both are basically a stick format. The Fire TV 3 offers 4K HDR, something the stick doesn't. I would spend the extra bucks to get that version if you want a Fire TV. All right, keep the questions coming. I'll do my best to answer them. I was in Best Buy on December 1st, and most TVs made in 2016, 2017 will work on the 3.0 standard with a firmware update. Probably not, Richard. The 3.0 over-the-air TV standard was only approved by the FCC a few weeks ago. We just got an approved standard. TVs made in 2016, 2017 do not have, it's a physical tuner. It's not a software update. It's a physical device. You're probably going to have to buy a box. When we went from analog to digital, you bought a little box, connected to your TV, and it did everything. The other part is 3.0 offers a lot of interactive features where you can actually interact with the content on your site. If you see an ad, you want to learn more about it, you can click on it. If you're watching the news, you want to hear more about it, you can click on it, and so forth. Most TVs don't include the ability to do that. Excuse me. So, 2018, there are TVs in the works that do include the 3.0 standard. They're already for sale in Korea, where 3.0 is out. From my understanding, no TVs in the US at this moment have it, but the TVs that have been announced to come out in 2018, some of them are including it. Probably by the end of next year, most will have it. Should you get a QLED TV? They are nice if you like it. If you think it's worth the price, if you look at that image and say, I'm willing to pay more for that, sure. Yeah. All right. Will the Fire TV 10 tablet cast a mirror to the Amazon TV? I believe so. Somebody help me. The Fire TV tablets, they do have the cast mirror to the Fire TV, right? I don't know. Colin, how does the Hulu Live DVR work? You can buy it for free, and it will basically record and then replace it with an on-demand version. They can't skip commercials. You can pay to upgrade to have a true unlimited DVR. More details on their website. Richard, I don't know. Okay, let's just take one thing over. Remember. Thank you, WM. Best Buy employees don't always know what they're talking about. According to Nintendo Direct CEO, no TV sold in the United States currently have 3.0 over their TV. I'm sure Paul asked, do Roku TV manufacturers beta test updates before they roll out to Roku TVs? No, actually Roku does that. Roku maintains all the OS side and the updates. And that's why one of the TV brands dropped them because they left the US market. They went to Asia where Roku isn't supported at this time. It was one of their smaller ones. And so Roku said, we're going to still continue to update the TVs. Even though that manufacturer no longer supports them, we will support them as a company. A lot of people are asking about Chiller. Yes, Chiller, from my understanding, is going to be discontinued. Low viewing. Low ratings, not making money. It's a business. All right, I'm going to hit a quick ad real quick. For everybody else that's still here, make sure to follow us on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Really appreciate it. If you're new here, see a ton of people who are new. Hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. We're trying our best to give you the best Cork news, tips, tricks. Also, in the show notes is a link to corkcarsnews.com. Every day, multiple times a day, we are posting stories out there all about the world of cord cutting. So keep that in mind. It really is the best place, I think. Maybe I'm biased, but I think Cork Cars News website is the best place to get all the news, tips, tricks, and stay on top of the world of cord cutting. VidMe is shutting down because it can't compete with YouTube. I've heard that too. I think it's actually bad timing because a lot of people are getting upset with YouTube right now. Unfortunately, you're just their demonetization. I mean, I've been hit with it quite a bit. Pretty much every video I upload gets demonetized, and then I appeal it, and it takes 2 to 5 days sometimes, and then I get it back. But unfortunately, during those 2 to 5 days is the time when most people watch the video. I don't make any money off of it. So unfortunately, it is what it is. But I think, it's maybe some truth that VidMe can't compete with YouTube. Daily Motion and others are trying right now. Amazon is trying to compete with YouTube right now too. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. You can DVR local channels on Hulu. I've DVR'd local channels on Hulu. Mule says you cannot do that, but from my understanding, Hulu Live TV does allow you to DVR local channels. Any news about the Comcast app on Roku? I mean, it's there already. What's your particular question with it, Carl? I think I missed the part of the question. I believe that Google is removing YouTube from the Amazon tablets too. From my understanding, though, is the app was already just a link to the browser, so you just go in the Silk browser, YouTube.com. You can watch YouTube on your tablet. All right, if you have a question or I have not answered your question, re-ask it because we're running towards the end of the day today. So let's get the questions out there. All right. And as always, make sure to visit corkcarsnews.com and check out those stories. Tons of great news today. And we also, you can subscribe to our weekly newsletter there. We have a daily newsletter. Make sure to keep in touch with Cork Cars News. T. Williams says, I've been with DirecTV Now since the beginning. Recently, I've been seeing increased buffering issues. Could be a problem with AT&T not having infrastructure in place. I've actually seen the reverse. I've seen less buffering on DirecTV Now. My recommendation with T. Williams is try to reset your router, update it. Could be, or see maybe if you don't change your Wi-Fi password, maybe somebody's using your Wi-Fi, sucking all kinds of data, and that could be causing a slowdown. Chai asks, any news on BIN Sports coming to DirecTV Now? Nope, sorry, I haven't heard anything. If I do, I'll make sure to post about it, though. Kevin, I don't believe that service you listed is a legal service. So my recommendation, check out DirecTV Now, Hulu, YouTube TV, Sling TV, PlayStation View, all those services. I don't know. James, we do know that YouTube TV, Air TV 2, excuse me, is in the works. What exactly it will include, we don't really know right now. We'll have to wait and see. Colin asks, does YouTube TV or Hulu Live give you an option of a commercial free on demand if available? Yeah, so if you have a on demand commercial free option, it will replace your DVR with that version of it. All right, keep the questions coming in. We're going to take the last few questions here. Hey, flood me with questions and do me a favor. Tell your friends, tell your family about Cork Cars News. Share our videos, share our stories. We'll really appreciate you. Help us growing Cork Cars News. All right. Paul, yep, the Movies Anywhere app will allow you to link to your Vudu account to watch your Vudu content on the Fire TV, on the Apple TV. You can watch your iTunes content on the Fire TV now. It's a pretty cool app. I hope more movie studios sign up for it. Yes, the long way price increase starts with PlayStation View, but be careful calling a price increase. People didn't like it when I called it a price increase. I had some very angry readers who said they would never read my site again because I said PlayStation View was raising the price. Guess what? I still call it a price increase. Is there any news on PlayStation View and Merry Christmas? Not to my... oh, those are two separate things. I'm like, was there like a movie or a new channel called Merry Christmas? I don't know. Merry Christmas to you too, Carl. No new news on PlayStation View. I did report that they rolled out a new app for the iOS and Android. The iOS adds support for X, the iPhone X, and it adds the new beta home screen, which allows you to customize it. Android's had that for a few days now. Yeah, so keep that out. Mugs, I know. I've been busy getting the new office and furnishing it and moving in. I did talk to a company about printing these. I'm trying to find somebody who would do it for me and do all the shipping. But the problem is those places I've done it haven't been giving me good quality. The samples weren't this nice. I may just, when we hire somebody, do it all in-house. All right. Last call for questions. Last call for questions. Get them in before we call it. T-Wums, I'm happy to hear that we have been helpful to you. You want this cup? All right, I'll see what I can do. I'll try and make this a priority after next week when we move in. I did talk to a couple companies about last week about it. Yes, nothing's changing on the site just because I'm moving down the road, just 10 minutes from my home. Nothing is changing about Cork Cars News. Our weekly Q&As will be the same. The only thing for everybody who's new here, the news at the top of the show was that we rented office space. So Cork Cars News is rolling out. We're going to be in about 1,100 square feet of office space that allows us to have a big review lab, a nice office for myself, area to hire some additional employees to try to take some of the workload off my shoulders. So keep that in mind. We're growing one step at a time out there. Excuse me. So yeah, But just because I'm moving 10 minutes on the road, this app will still be here. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the weekly Q&A shows here or if I'm going to do them at the other office. We'll have to wait and see. I may play around, do both. This desk is set. I'm staying. This computer is staying here. So nights, weekends, I can still continue to work. But my wife is basically kicking me out. When I started trying to take over additional parts of the home for Cork News, she said, it's time for you to get an office space. We don't have enough room in the office to accommodate you, is basically, or in the house to accommodate you and the kids. So I got kicked out. But yeah, nothing else is changing. All right, questions, comments, let me know. Do you know what AirPlay doesn't work on iOS Hulu app? I was not familiar with that, but I'll look into it. Thank you, Mule. Any info on when Calls to the Heart's new sequence? No, I don't. Sorry, Lita. All right, everybody, last call. I will probably be watching the Star Wars movie, but probably won't be next week just because I have family in town and business. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to them on opening weekend. But I do intend to watch the Star Wars movie. All right, everybody. I think the questions have kind of wound up. So, did I hear Comcast getting Epics? No, I did not. But thank you. There is a deal right now. Epics is free. 30-day free trial of Epics. No credit card needed. Limited time offer. Last time they did this offer only lasts a few hours. I have details at corkcarsnews.com. So go check that out. You can get 30 days free of Epics. No credit card needed. Right now, corkcarsnews.com. It's one of the top stories to check it out. All right, everybody, have a great day. Thank you for being here next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you are new, hit that subscribe button. Check out the corkcarsnews.com, link in the show notes for all the best cord cutting news, tips, and tricks. Every day, multiple stories a day, all about the world of cord cutting, helping you get the most out of your cord cutting experience. Tell your friends, tell your families, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. I would really appreciate it. All right, everybody, take care. I'll see you next week. And as always, thank you greatly for your support.